Hey guys, I am not wearing any concealer at the moment, if you can't already tell, because I have a new review and demo that I wanted to share with you on these new concealers that were just released by Wet n Wild. These are their new PhotoFocus concealers, and I did pick up mine in 3 different shades. So the shades that I'm going to be sharing with you are light medium beige, medium peach, and medium tawny. These do retail for $3.99 and there are 6 shades in total. So the shades that I picked up start from the second lightest shade forward. So I skipped out on the lightest shade. I believe the next shade is light medium beige, and then it goes medium peach and then medium tawny, and then there are a couple deeper shades after that. So these guys are described as creamy and luminous concealers that are white cast free, meaning that, you know, a lot of times when you do flash photography and you like to use like a really brightening concealer, a lot of times the way that shows up in pictures is it looks like you have 2 different skin tones on your face. Like a lot of times in my photos, I know it'll look really yellow or white under my eyes, and then the rest of my skin will look normal. These were tested to look good no matter what lighting condition you're in. They said that they tested them under 7 different types of lighting conditions, which I will list somewhere here on the screen, pretty much just to make sure that they look flattering no matter where you are or what situation you're in. Now the first shade that I'm going to swatch is the shade light medium beige. So again, this is the second to the lightest out of the range. It does have a nice light neutral tone to it. It has a slight yellow base to it, but really not anything that intense. Now, my first immediate reaction to all of these when I swatched them out is that they are a lot darker than I was expecting. If you can see this one, it's really only, I would say, maybe 2 or 3 shades lighter than my regular skin tone, and this is the second to the lightest in the shade range. So keep in mind, they run a little bit deeper than a lot of other concealers that I see. And the next shade is medium peach. Now, medium peach has more of that beigey or pinky tone to it. It's right below it. I was kind of hoping for this to be more of a corrector for my under eye area, but you can see it isn't like a really strong orange or intense peachy tone in there. I feel like it's more of a concealer just with like a peach undertone to it, but it's definitely not something I would categorize as a corrector. And then the final shade is medium tawny, which is obviously the deepest of the 3. Now medium tawny, I want to say almost has, again, kind of like a beigey undertone to it. When you see it in contrast with the other shades, you can really see the yellow undertone coming through on the light medium beige, and then you really see the peachiness come out in that medium peach, and it almost feels like medium tawny is kind of a mixture of the 2, so more on the neutral side, but I feel like I definitely see a little bit more orange coming through on medium tawny. One thing I really love about these concealers is that they're water-based, which you actually can tell pretty immediately when you swatch them out because they feel very liquidy and lightweight and kind of pillowy on the skin. They don't feel thick or chalky or anything like that, which I really love about these. So now I'm going to put these guys into action on my face. And the way I think I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna use medium tawny just on my blemishes or problem areas because it is so dark. It's probably too dark for my skin, but I'm just gonna try it out anyways. And then for my under eyes, I'm actually gonna try both of these lighter shades out. So I'm gonna do light medium beige on one eye and then medium peach on the other. So let's go ahead and start off with medium tawny. I did put a little bit of foundation on my skin, but I feel like it's already kind of worn down on my face because I didn't set it with powder or anything. So thankfully, I can't say that it looks too dark. I definitely feel like as I blended it in, it's really not that much deeper than my skin, which is nice. So the coverage on it seems pretty good. I can see that it canceled out some of the blue tones and my scarring and things like that. So that I really love. Now for the first under eye, I'm gonna go in with medium peach. So you can see it's not a really intense peach color. It has a peachy undertone to it, but it's definitely not on the level of like a corrector or anything like that. It doesn't look totally insane on my face. And these do feel really, really smooth. You really can tell that they are water-based because they just glide on my skin like nothing. So now I'm gonna go ahead and blend medium peach out. Okay, so there's medium peach, just one layer of it blended out on my eye, and I love the way this blends out on my skin. It looks so natural. It doesn't look chalky or heavy or drying in any sort of way. Now the coverage of this I would say is around medium. It's definitely not a super heavy heavy duty full coverage concealer or anything like that. But for like a daytime concealer, I feel like it's perfect. It just adds the perfect amount of coverage. It cancels a lot of the dark under eye circle out. I can still see some of it peeking through, so I probably would still use a corrector with these. They're not super full coverage, but I would say somewhere on the medium side. So for the second eye, I'm gonna be going in with light medium beige, which again is the lightest one that I picked up. I really, really like this color. Don't let the beiginess fool you if you're somebody that likes more of a yellow tone to it. This does have more of a yellow tone to it, so. And I will say that it looks brighter than medium peach. Medium peach just looks like it kind of neutralized that side of my face out, where light medium beige seemed to brighten that area just a little bit, but by no means would I call any of these brightening concealers. Again, that's not really what these are meant to do. These are meant to really kind of be the opposite of that, so that they look good in photos or in like regular daylight. They look natural and luminous on the skin is what they're claiming. So the only thing I'm not super crazy about with these is the level of coverage. I do like something a little bit more full coverage for my under eye area. But again, I kind of feel like if it were more full coverage, it wouldn't look as natural and wouldn't look like as seamless on the skin. So it's kind of a catch-22 with that. Just for me personally, I do have a little bit more darkness in here. So I'm gonna try to go in with just one more layer of each for my under eyes. And I'm just gonna go in with medium peach one more time. Just right here where I see a little bit more of the darkness. And then I'm gonna do the exact same for light medium beige on the opposite side. I'm just gonna add one little extra mini layer. I don't wanna cake this up. Okay, so I just blended out a little mini second layer of each, and that really did actually help. Again, I wouldn't say they're at the same level of coverage that I typically like for my under eye area, but the second layer definitely increase that coverage. Now, as for the like luminous finish that Wet n Wild claims, I kind of feel in the middle about that. They feel more of a semi-matte finish. Like on the rest of my face, I use my Milani foundation, my 2-in-1, which has a mattifying finish, and I don't feel like my under eyes look all that different in terms of the finish from that foundation. So now I'm just gonna quickly set my under eye area using my Laura Mercier translucent powder. Okay, so I went ahead and set my under eyes and the rest of my face, and I'm just gonna give you a quick rundown on my thoughts on these. So I actually have been testing these out over the past week or so. One thing that I love about them is the fact that they look so incredibly natural. My under eye area, I feel like, can be very, very problematic with a lot of heavy concealers. It cakes up really easily. I have drier under eye, so it can look really heavy and obvious on my skin. These, I really don't have an issue with that. These are water-based, so they're a little bit more liquidy, lightweight, blendable, which I love. I don't feel self-conscious when I'm wearing them out in the daylight or anything like that, because I know it kind of looks like my actual skin. I think when it comes to Wet n Wild's claim that these are flattering regardless of the type of lighting you're in, I do agree with that because they just look so natural. I would categorize these more as like everyday light concealers. For me personally, this isn't something that I'd wear like on a night out when I really want extra coverage there, because these just don't do it for me even when I do build them up. Another thing I'm not crazy about with these is just how deep the shade range is. Even for the lightest shade, I still probably would go lighter even than this, and I feel like for me to pick the lightest shade in a shade range for concealers is nuts. Like usually those are way too light for me, but even with light medium beige, I don't feel like it was really all that light on my under eye area. I kind of feel torn. I do feel like they did what they're supposed to do. I'm just speaking from personal preference. I do like something fuller coverage, and I actually do like a very brightening yellow base. So for me personally, that is the only reason why I wouldn't repurchase these guys, is only because of what I like to cover my eyes with. But I feel like for a natural everyday concealer, these are awesome. I would love to know if you guys have tried these and what your thoughts were. Let me know in a comment down below. Otherwise, if you guys like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up so that I know. And if you're new to my channel, definitely don't head out before subscribing. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so, so much, and I will see you next time. Bye.